Back here at the tallest man stores, 995. As you can see, we are not doing bad in business. And here is a record of what we have been doing so far in one of our business outlets. And down below is the total profit and the total units sold. So what we basically want to do is to create a dashboard that will enable us to assess what we have been doing so far. Raw data can be hard to look at. As such, Excel dashboard simplifies complex data that you have in your spreadsheet and transforms it into something that is easier to visualize and easier to understand. It helps in data management. It helps in data management, for analysis of data, for charting, for graphing, time management, and it enables us to manage tasks very effectively. So this is very essential and important. Wow. And to do this, we are going to start off with this dashboard. Now, to start off, we are going to first of all record our total profits and our total units, bring them over to the dashboard using shapes. So to bring on shapes, we click on Exact, click on Illustrations, click on Shapes. There are shapes we can choose from. Okay, let's say I choose this. Now we'll just quickly hold your mouse and draw. Okay, let's draw the shape here. Maybe to duplicate, press Ctrl D on your keyboard. We have successfully duplicated this. So when you hold, you can drag it anywhere around your workspace. So basically, click on this to select it and resize it. Okay, let's set it this, and I can hold to drag it around. Let's place it. You can see I can basically write on this. Shape. So just like we wanted to do, we want to bring in our total units and total profits. So right here on the dashboard, let's name this total units sold. Total units sold. Ctrl A to highlight. Then we can increase the font size. Let's say 16. Of course, and increase the font size. Let's say 16. Okay. Now we can click on this to duplicate. Ctrl D. Ctrl D to duplicate, and when we click on it again, we can be able to drag it around, and let's say we put it here. Okay, let's position this here. And let's bring this one over to this place. Okay, so we can expand it like this. You can press Ctrl D to duplicate it, then drag it over to this one. Click to position this here. Click to position this. So our work is set and click and bring this up. So like I said, I can typically write on, okay, let's rename this. When I click in here, I can delete this. Let's call it total profits. Total profits. Profits. And I can position it to the center. Position to the center. Okay, so like I said, I can typically write on this cell and write the total profit on this cell, but it will not connect to this cell in case of an update. Now, in order to connect it, just click on this, come here on the formula bar, equals, come back to our records, and here is our total units. Hit enter and it inserts our total units right here. We can do the same for our profits. Select, come here and write equal, come back to our sheet, select our total profits, enter on your keyboard, and it is right here. And we can basically increase the font size just like as we did before. We can increase the font size for this. Ctrl A to highlight. We come over here, we can make it 16 just like the other 16, or make it 20. Let's make it 20. And the same thing, and we can basically position it to the center like so. And double click into the cell, highlight this, double click into it, Ctrl A, then we can change it to 20 and center it. So our cell, our record is looking pretty good. And next is that we want to create a chart for our dashboard. So I want to go over to the top. To do this, if I start to scroll, there are a lot of data here. So a quick one, just hold Ctrl and the up key, up direction key on your keyboard, and it will take us right here at the top. So we are back to the top at the tallest man stores 995. Now we want to create a chart that will represent what we have been doing so far at the tallest man stores 995. And to do this, we are going to be using pivot tables. Now to start, the first thing we are going to do is to convert this record into a table. To do this, Ctrl A to highlight all, and Ctrl T to create the table. Now I'm going to come over here and hit on OK. My table has headers, check that, and we have created this beautiful table. And we are going to go ahead to create the pivot tables. Now to do this, click on Insert, click on Pivot Tables, click on Pivot Tables on a new worksheet, and this is our table of array. Then hit OK, and here is our pivot table ready and set. So what we basically want to do is to create two charts that will assess what we have been doing so far. Pivot table, remember we are making two charts, so we need two we need two pivot tables, and what we will have to do is to duplicate this pivot table. And to duplicate this pivot table, right click on it, come here on move or copy, click on that, select the sheet. Remember it's sheet 4. We select it, then check this box, create a copy, check it, then hit OK. It will create a copy of the pivot table. But another way you can also go about it is to select it. It's already selected. Now hold the control key on the keyboard and drag this over to here, and it has made a copy of our pivot tables. Now here is the first pivot table and here is the second pivot table. So we are ready right here to start our work. So we click back to our sheet 1 and we go back to our first pivot table. Now we want to create a pivot, we want to create a chart of profits by country per product. So I will just quickly rename this sheet. Let's click, yes, right click on rename. Let's call it profit by products per country. Then hit enter on the keyboard. Now to rename this, right click on rename. Now let's call this profits per month. Profits per month. Now hit enter on the keyboard. Now we click into the first pivot table here. Now I will drag country into rows, country to rows, drag product to columns, product to columns, and then drag profit to values, drag profit to values. So we can see what we can do here is to click on one, right click, sort from largest to smallest. So we can see that the United States gave us our highest profit, followed by India and Nigeria and so forth. So to do this, we are going to create a chart using this. So I come over here, click on pivot analyze, click on pivot chart. When you click on pivot chart, select, okay, let's select a line chart. Okay, let's go with, first of all, let's go with a column chart. Then we hit on OK. So it has created the chart for us here. Now we can add a title to this chart. We click on chart elements on the plus icon, click on chart title, click on chart title. Here we come here, hit on Ctrl A. Then we can name this profit. Let's still name it profit by country, products. Now, of course, we can make this bold. We can make it bold. We can increase the font size. Let's say make it 16. We can even change the font color. We can change the font color. Let's go with red. So these are a couple of things. We can just play around with it. And we have our first chart ready. Now we come over to the next one. Now the profit for the month. Now I'll click on month, drag month to rows, drag product to columns, and drag profit. Click on profit and drag it to values. So we can sort once more. Right click, and when you right click on it, sort from largest to smallest. You can sort from smallest to largest depending on how you want it. We can always play around with this, but we are sorting from largest. So we can see that we made our highest sales in the month of June. So to insert a chart, we go to pivot tables, pivot table analyze, click on pivot charts. Then we can choose, we can probably this time around, we can go with a line chart. We can go with a line chart this time around, or we go with a bar chart, or we stick with a bar chart and we click on OK, and it will insert our chart right here. Now we can go over to here, click on the plus sign on chart elements, tick chart title, and then click inside the box, Ctrl A to highlight. We call it profit by month per product. And we can make it bold, probably increase the font size to 16, change the font color to red. Yes. We can drag this around, we can move it around. So we have our two charts ready. So I'm going to click on Ctrl C to copy. Ctrl C to copy. Let's come over right here at our dashboard. We come over to our dashboard and Ctrl V to paste. Paste it right here. Paste it right here. We go over to the next chart, Ctrl C to copy. We come over to the dashboard and let's paste it here, Ctrl V to paste. We have our chart ready and our dashboard is already looking up. Our dashboard is already looking up. So one thing we can do is to place this properly. We can drag this. Let's drag it over to here. Now we go over to the second chart. A dashboard is all about making your work very beautiful, and this is like a demo of how we can go about it. So our chart, our dashboard is already looking up. It's already looking up. And we have a matter of this here. and it's already looking up. So one thing again we can do is to come over here. This is total units sold. I want to make it to represent the value of money. So one thing we can do, we can write inside there directly. Let's write something, but it won't be connected to first our initial record. So we can come back here in sheet 1, and over here on our total profits, over here where we have our total profits, we can click on it, click here. Now we can insert the comma style, click on it, and then click on the currency sign, and we can decrease or remove the decimals, so to say. Then we come over to our dashboard, and we can see that it has been reflected on our dashboard. So any data that we update here will automatically be reflected on our dashboard. Now, to make this dashboard to be more interactive, one of the things we can do is to insert a slicer. And to do this, click into one of the charts, click on pivot table analyze, click on insert slicer, and we check for country, and we click OK. Now we have a slicer here. We can easily move this around, so we can place this right here. So when we click, it gives us the result for the country that we have chosen, as you can see. So we can start to interact with this dashboard right here. But one of the things is that when I click on it, the second chart remains static. It is still the way it is. So one of the things that we can do is to link the two charts to this slicer. And to do this, click on report connections. When we click on report connections, you can see that only one pivot table is checked. So we check the second pivot table, check it. And when we check it, we hit OK. So when we hit on Ghana, click on India, you can see that the dashboard is reflecting, and you can see it's reflecting on both sides. If I zoom this in and we click on Kenya, the two charts are interacting with this slicer, and that is looking pretty fine and good. So another thing that we can do is to remove these grid lines. So to do that, you click into one of the cells, and when we click on view, we can see the option to remove grid lines. Uncheck it and uncheck headlines, and it's looking beautiful. Now when we zoom out, we can see that our dashboard is looking okay. And when we input new data, it will reflect into our dashboard. And when we do that, one of the things that we can do is to come here, click on one of the charts, click on pivot table analyze, go here to refresh, check refresh all, and any new data that is added will be reflected on this dashboard. So this is one of the ways we can go about building this in dashboard to access our data. There are a couple of ways we can still go about it to make it even more attractive and beautiful. but this is pretty basic and it is interactive also.